So a question that comes up very frequently is, was your husband on board with minimalism in the beginning?
No.
You're not supposed to give the answer away. We'll talk more about that coming up next. Well, I'm Dawn from The Minimal Mom, joined by my husband, Tom. And of course, a very frequently asked question is, was your husband on board with minimalism? And so, I will say this, when I found minimalism, we had 4 kids ages 4 and under, and I was a stay-at-home mom, but I was always doing projects on the side, and then Tom was working over full-time. And so there was a lot of frustration between us where he'd get home from work, he'd look at the house and be like, what'd you do all day? You know, and we all know that as stay-at-home moms, it's a full day's work, and by the end of the day, sometimes you just don't have the emotional capacity to have the house picked up when you know you're just gonna have to do it again the next day. So that being said, that's kind of the boat we were in. So I think Tom was scared by the word minimalism.
I don't know that the term minimalism came up for a while.
Right.
You just started getting rid of things.
And I was kind of testing it out. So I wasn't I didn't like discover it and then like walk in and be like, hey Tom, I want to become a minimalist, because
No, it was literally, you just started like purging stuff.
Yeah.
And at first I was like, oh, cool, this is fun. But then then you started purging to the point where I was like, okay, seriously, like where'd all our stuff go?
Yeah, and it was good. But then, I mean, did that worry you that I was gonna get rid of your stuff?
No, I think I know you're smarter than that.
I was strategic how I went about it. I mean, my zone was like the house, basically, and Tom had the garage. I didn't touch the garage.
Well, and let's be honest, like, I'm on board with it now, but as far as my stuff, tools, vehicle toys, clothes, garage stuff, I still need to pare down. No, I'm done with getting rid of more things. The difficult thing I have with tools and stuff like that, living in the country and fixing and remodeling things, and you always think, okay, well, I use all my tools. Like, I use all my tools, I use all the stuff. Well, you start justifying all these things.
Yeah, it's different keeping stuff because you do sometimes use it. Yeah. Where we have a lot of things that we sometimes use, unfortunately, but there's a difference between that and things that we just never used. I mean, all of us, our wardrobes were 8 times bigger than they needed to be.
No, that's true.
And so I was strategic about it. I think in the beginning, I didn't touch the garage. I didn't get rid of, his clothes or his stuff. There was enough work to do just doing my stuff, the kitchen stuff, the kids' stuff.
The kids' stuff was probably the biggest.
The toys was probably the biggest difference in how our house felt. Do you agree with that? Yeah.
Yes.
Like, wasn't it so great when we got rid of all the toys?
Well, okay, yes.
Not
you say all of it. No. They still
have some of them.
Yeah, no, they still have tons of toys.
Yeah.
But no, it's way less than what they've had.
And of course, we do have a whole series on simplifying kids' toys. Yeah. So if that is something you hope to do this year, be sure to check those out.
I think they actually play more now with the less toys than the plethora of toys that we had.
Yeah.
The other benefit that I appreciated with minimizing is you spend less money. Like, if you're not needing to have everything, you spend less money.
It's true.
Which is fantastic. Yeah. I mean, we have a family of 6. We live on a budget. We try and live within our means, and we're trying to pay off debt and stuff. So it helps.
So use that to appeal to your spouse.
Yes.
So we're gonna do another video about how to get your spouse on board if they aren't. So we'll talk about more about that. But usually there's plenty of work for us to do before we even need to involve our spouse. So we'll talk more about that coming up. And of course, if you have any other questions that you'd like us to tackle, leave those below. Let us know, was your spouse on board or not if you've taken on this journey. We'd love to hear about it and hear how that has gone.